Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading. This is your bonus reading for today. You have the Scythe, and this is a wild card that's in this deck, so I'm going to pull another one. You have another wild card. I should really take these out, because I don't like them. And you have look at this, it's like clearly you cannot make this up. The universe wants you to have a wild card because you have all three. I don't even know how that's freaking possible, but sure, we'll stick with it. You have the Scythe and the Lenormand plus the wild card. The Scythe can represent cutting something out of your life or, removing something. It can also represent kind of something new coming in. So we'll have, and here you go, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nines I definitely consider to be cards of newness in the tarot, so there could be like a new opportunity coming in for you at this time. We'll have to, see what comes up as we move throughout this. The Scythe can also represent a harvest, so I do kind of feel that there is a harvest, or you're about to have some sort of harvest in your life. And, clearly it could be financial with the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, you really can't make this stuff up with the Nine of Pentacles, Virgo, because for a while now we have been talking about how you could be reusing a skill or you could be upgrading a skill that you already have, and the Nine of Pentacles represents skill. We'll definitely talk about it in a minute. You start with the Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands can represent marriage or a commitment, so some of you could be thinking about marriage, or you could be thinking about, being together with a person. I feel some of you might already have love, and again, this could be a deeper commitment in love if you already have it. If you don't have love, there's clearly love coming in for you. I mean, you have the Lovers coming up in the future. Now, we have Venus in your opposite sign, so it makes sense, with Venus in Pisces, that you could be attracting a new person into your life, or at least it makes sense to me. I think this really is a card of setting yourself free. So the Four of Wands is the card of freedom. Usually we have to cross some sort of finish line. I always say this kind of looks like a finish line to me, like we have to cross through that threshold to celebrate on the other side with those people. And the interesting thing is that your crossing energy is the Judgment card. So the Judgment card, these people are standing in their coffins. The coffin is their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. You have the Scythe, the Jack of Diamonds, your very first card, and 3 wild cards, apparently, whatever the hell that means. And so this kind of says that there might still be some attachments to the past that you have to release so that you can set yourself free. Especially as the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you. So I would be, letting go of the past, and I'm not even talking about a person here, this could be your old story, old things that you believe about yourself. Could be any of that. And I would really be looking at your beliefs or your belief system. You have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is showing up in the area of your thoughts, or what's on your mind. The Nine of Pentacles is about your skills. She has these grapes behind her on this card. And the grapes in the tarot represent something that's very difficult to grow. Grapes require specific conditions to grow well. That's why grapes only grow, the best wine in the world comes from only a few places, right? So I feel for a lot of you that this, what the grapes represent is that you have a skill that could make you very successful, but you have to use that skill. The Nine of Pentacles is also about your environment. We have this snail, and snails wear their homes on their backs, so the snail kind of says that you have to create an environment of success. Again, it's funny that I said grapes require a specific environment. So if you are trying to work on anything, here, your business, your career, it feels financial to me. I would make sure you're literally creating an environment of success. I changed my office around, right? I moved everything around. I don't know why I have this tiny little wall over here, which is where I was shooting my videos this way. I have about 100 things behind me. I don't know why I didn't set it up this way in the first place. I feel so much better today shooting my videos in this position, right? So again, you never know. Sometimes changing your environment, moving things around, this took almost all day for me. I have a million things in here I had to move around, and I had to untangle all my cords, right? Totally worth it. So, sometimes just changing your environment can have a major impact on how you feel, and I would be paying attention to your environment. In the area of your foundation, you have the Five of Swords. We also have the Devil in the past. So, the foundation is obviously your foundation. The Five of Swords can represent walking away from something, but this guy here is walking, even though he's walking away, he is walking away the winner. So I feel if you are walking away from anything toxic, which it looks like you kind of are, that you are going, I think that what it's trying to say, this reading, is that in the future you will see this as a big win. Sometimes it can be hard to walk away from a job that's toxic or, I always say the devil doesn't, I don't think tarot has to be drama, drama, drama. I think that the devil could just say you have a job and in some ways it drains you. And so, again, it doesn't have to be that big of a deal, but, finding something better will improve your life. And so I think that's what the devil is saying. We'll talk about it in a minute. In the area of the past, you have this deeply rooted love card. It says something is emerging from the depths of your most intimate desires. You have this bare tree. It says don't waste your energy or efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. Yes, I feel you need to pay more attention. 2 tree cards, right? It's like you need to pay attention to your heart, not on something that isn't working. And the devil kind of could represent being attached to something that is an energy vampire. Now, this doesn't have to be a person. Anything can steal our energy. So I feel you need to look at the things that you're giving energy to that clearly aren't working. And you have 2 options. I always say we don't have to quit things in life. There are plenty of things that I've done in life where it's like when I started them, they really didn't produce anything. They basically were a vampire. But as I worked on those things, those activities or those habits or those business ideas, it's like over time I corrected that, and I made it something that returned energy to me, right? So we can correct it. We don't have to leave anything behind. But the other option is to leave it behind, If something is clearly not working, like this card says, don't waste your energy or efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. So with the devil, again, I feel just something that you have done. It's coming up in the past, so you might already be leaving behind some sort of energy vampire. You have the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles is holding on too tightly to the past. So we have to release the past with the 4 of Pentacles and we have to move forward. This is coming up in the area of your very near future. And sorry, I forgot to pull the 2 oracle cards, which you have this peace card and this thinker card. So I would be protecting your peace. The thinker card is kind of hard to see, but there's like a face right here that's looking at that lady. And I always look at this as a card of needing to level up. That face is on a pedestal or whatever you want to call it. That's one step higher than where she is right now, right? And with the 4 of Pentacles, you could be holding on to a current position, or you could be holding on to something where you are right now. And there could be great opportunity in expansion or getting to the next level, which is kind of what I feel here. It's there's something about leveling up or needing to level up with this 4 of Pentacles. I always say, the 4 of Pentacles isn't a bad card. He's in a position where he is protected and he is getting something for his life. But is it the best he can do? No. So I feel this is saying try your best here, Virgo, moving forward. Next in your outcome row, you have this wolf. It says cunning and stealth. You have this envelope. It says unfolding surprise on it. So there could be some sort of unfolding surprise coming in for you. I feel you need to do things behind the scenes. I think that would be best for you. It's it's kind of funny that this is coming up because I talk to a lot of people obviously about YouTube. I teach classes every single weekend about YouTube as well to different people. And I'll always have people that will say things to me I want to say, XYZ, but I'm afraid of how it will come off. And I always tell people delivery is important. You can say something that might be controversial, but you can say it in a non-controversial way. I don't know why this is popping into my head, other than I feel that if there might be certain things about yourself that you feel are controversial, or maybe that people won't like. And I feel there's a way you can get your point across without directly saying what you're thinking about saying. So that's got to be for someone out there. The other thing I would say here with the cunning and stealth card is I feel this is saying let something be a surprise. This is unfolding surprise, this is cunning and stealth, and so I feel that for a lot of you, instead of telling everyone what you're doing or what you're working on, it might be better to just work in silence at this time and, surprise everyone in the future. You have the 8 of Cups in the area of the next few months, so cutting things out again. I feel pretty good about this. I always say, to me, the 8 of Cups is a good card. He's walking away from things that no longer serve him, so how is that a bad thing, right? And with the Devil in the past and the Bare Tree card, which says something is not bearing fruit, it looks to me like you are I kind of feel like you're trimming you're pruning things out of your life or you're pulling the weeds out of your life. Maybe that's a better thing to say. And I feel the cleaner you make your environment by getting rid of the weeds, the more you can grow. And that's what I feel the Eight of Cups is saying, like you are removing yourself from situations, people, places, and things that aren't cutting it, and you're moving forward. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords says that there could be a person who's rushing into your life. I wouldn't really call this a love reading yet, you know? That could change when we clarify, but I kind of feel the reading is more saying that, it's more talking about your environment and things like that. Now, one thing I will say is I believe if we grow and we really work on ourselves, of course we will attract people into our lives because we are bettering ourselves, and people want to be around people who are improving. So, I feel that's definitely a possibility, and there definitely could be a person rushing in. The Knight of Swords, I feel, is saying don't rush. I feel based off of Virgo's astrology over the past that, for a long period of time in the past, I feel you put a lot more pressure on love in your life. And I feel that since then, that has probably changed for you, or that is something that's changed for you. Something has shifted in love. So I feel you are no longer rushing into connections, and that's exactly what I would do here, is I would make sure that you are not rushing connections, that you're taking your time, which, again, I kind of like you are. So I'm not too worried about it. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Lovers. So you could be feeling in love in the future, or you could be feeling like there's a very strong connection that you have in your life. So that is good if you want love. The Lovers can also represent having a choice to make. Again, this is going to sound weird, but I really feel Virgos need to pick the controversial choice. And I wish I had a better way to say that to you here, Virgo. But, it's like there might be a decision you want to make that's going to, piss some people off but not others, And but I feel you need to look at your heart, is what I would say. It's like imagine if all I wanted to talk about was sharks on this channel. There's a shark on my screen over here, right? It's like people wouldn't like that, because they know me as a tarot reader, but there would be some people that would like it. And also, if that was my heart, that was what my heart was telling me to do, then I would really be connecting with those people and it would, create something better over time. I don't know. I feel like that's what I need to say to you on the Lover's card, like you need to do what's right in your heart. You have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is your outcome. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. So again, don't hold yourself back with the Eight of Swords. I feel you really need to follow your heart, like I said, or, follow your passions. And, that's what I would do there. With the Four of Wands and the Judgment card, you have the Star card. Yes, the Star is about having a North Star. The Judgment card is about your purpose, and the Star is kind of similar because the Star, again, is about listening to, following this North Star or having that one big goal, wish, or dream that you manifest or you work towards. And if you do that, then you'll be much more successful. So I would say that these two cards are kind of like calling you towards purpose, or calling you to purpose, and I would come up with some sort of purpose if you don't have one. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is an adventure. So Page of Wands, we have to follow our enthusiasm. He really doesn't have a good reason for why he is doing something. He is just excited about the journey, and that's it. That's all he's got is his excitement, his enthusiasm, his joy. Something brings him joy, so he does it, and that's what I would do for you. With the Five of Swords, you have the Fool. This is really good because, again, I feel pretty good about the Five of Swords. Even though it can be a challenging card, I feel like you're walking away the winner, like I already said. The Fool would be taking a leap of faith in a new direction, and I feel like you're leaving behind things that steal your energy. So I just feel like this is more talking about your journey and the journey that you're on, and I feel it's saying you are walking away from things that no longer serve you. With the Devil, of the Hangman, sometimes I think we do need to learn from things that are toxic. Everybody will experience something toxic in life, and it's so we can learn. The Hangman has been in hangman mode. He's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom. His head is glowing, so he has gained enlightenment. So this would say that, not all situations, even the challenging ones, they're not necessarily bad because they taught us something. I also really like that you have the Hangman here because in the past, I should say, because it would suggest that you are now moving forward. Again, the Hangman has sacrificed movement. He has sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs, and so he needs to start moving forward, and I feel you are progressing. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords. I really like this as well. Four of Pentacles, a little bit of a stuck feeling here. Like maybe it's been hard for you recently to feel excited or enthusiastic about a new direction or new ideas. The Page of Swords would kind of be like new ideas sneaking into your head where it's like, Maybe you've been bored, maybe you've been having a hard time finding fulfillment recently, and the Page of Swords would say there are these little curiosities that are, popping into your head around now that you should explore. With the Page of Swords, we have to grab onto the idea, and we have to start learning about it. So if you have random ideas, random thoughts, random plans that pop up, I would go towards those things, yes. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles walking towards something new. It's like you're on this journey of fulfillment. 3 pages in this diagonal. Page of Pentacles is a new direction. It can represent communication as well. We have this envelope card here, and that says unfolding surprise, and the Page of Pentacles can be a messenger. So you could be receiving news that you've been waiting for, but the Page of Pentacles would also just be about learning. Again, he is the card of studiousness and learning, and you could be learning about new directions, new ideas. But it looks to me like you're kind of like on this new journey. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Seven of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is a change in direction. 7 of Pentacles says to me, is the juice worth the squeeze? He is looking at those 7 pentacles and he's saying like, was it worth it for me to put all this effort and time and attention into this idea or new direction? Or, is there something else I could learn? Again, I really feel most of the reading is saying that where you have come from, you've learned everything you can from where you have come from, and now you're changing direction and upgrading. Like I said with this, with this Thinker card, I feel you're taking something to the next level here, and you're probably creating a better harvest. He is getting a harvest here. That is his harvest, those 7 pentacles, but he's wondering to himself like, if I change direction or, if I do something new, would I get a better harvest? Would I get 10 pentacles instead of 7? And so I feel that's what I feel here. I feel like you're doing something to get more. With the Lovers, you have the Temperance card. I really like this, definitely. Temperance can be 2 people who mix really well together. So if you don't have love, I feel you could be attracting a person where you mix more well together. Temperance is patience. Some people read temperance as oil and water. I kind of feel that for you, like maybe that's what you've experienced in relationships so far, is like trying to mix oil and water. Now I feel like he's trying to turn water into wine, so you could be finding a person who's like a fine wine, who ages like fine wine. There you go, Virgo, definitely a much better option. With the Eight of Swords, you have the 5 of Pentacles. Yes, definitely get out of your head. It's a good reading, but, the interesting thing is that a lot of the readings I've been doing recently, it's like they've been good, but it's like the enemy is our mind. And so I feel that you need to conquer your mindset, or you need to do something to develop a more positive mindset, or you need to believe in yourself more. 5 of Pentacles says do not call attention to your weaknesses. We really have to focus and double down on our strengths. You have this Grapes card. Grapes are clearly important. Your skills are clearly important. This card says time to go out and have fun. Yes, I've been saying this for over a year now. We're definitely in a time where the energy is too serious. Whenever the energy is going one direction, we need to go the other direction. So I feel that having more fun, doing things that you enjoy, fulfilling yourself. You have the Star card. The Star card is all about fulfilling yourself, being in the energy of fulfillment. She is about to step into this pool of water that is the pool of universal consciousness. She is getting into the flow of the energy of the universe. Damn, Virgo, that's exactly what you need to do. You have this Rabbit. It says too much concern with sexual matters. I would be careful if you're dealing with a person like that, Make sure that they actually want something. That's it. You have this Firecracker card. It says excitement on it, so there could be something very exciting coming in for you. Again, I feel like there's an unfolding surprise. I feel like you are the surprise, like you are surprising people. I don't think this is necessarily a surprise that's coming in for you. I feel the reading is more saying that, if you work in silence and if you create whatever you're trying to create, you will surprise people with what you are able to accomplish. So you are the surprise. You have this Man card. It says dealings or relationships with a man. You have this Pineapple card. It says reconciliation on it. I don't really feel like anyone's coming back from the past. This could just be you reconciling with the universe. This Pineapple card in this deck is more meant to represent you kind of reconciling your energy, and I feel that's kind of what you're doing here. I do feel for some of you, I just said this to Scorpio, it could be a Scorpio that you're attracting. So if you had a person that you never really got into anything with but wanted to, I do feel for some of you it could be like a person like that. Your last card is this rat. It says someone working against you behind your back. Everyone gets one of these cards nowadays. Mars retrograde, during Mars retrograde, I think turns up the paranoia for all of us. And so I would be careful of being too paranoid, or, thinking that people are against you or don't want the best for you, And I would mostly ignore it. I always say the best thing we can do during Mars retrograde is ignore those energies where we're thinking that someone's doing something and all that other stuff. If you ignore it and just focus on what's in front of you, focus on what you can do, right? I think we all need to be more careful of focusing on things we can't control during Mars retrograde, and we just need to focus on what we can control, and that's what that card is saying. But looks pretty good, Virgo. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.